welcome to another topic. This is topic number 2, which is from Nokia to now. And this is part of Unit 2, Week 13, which is Smart Helpers and Devices.
So can you remember the last time you washed your hands? And now try to remember the last time you washed your phone.
Okay, so the point of this do now is to tell you that the phone actually is quite dirty. Okay? The phone has a lot of bacteria. It just sits around, and then you use it with your fingers all the time. So the possibility of transmission of bacteria and viruses is very, very high. So pause this video and take a look at the infographic and see how many times it is dirtier than a lot of things that we have shown you. So coming to the purpose, today we will learn about the evolution of phones. We will access the internet to search information effectively. We will search for and collect terms related to learning areas and present them through speaking or writing. And we will follow various data, information, and events in daily life and choose to receive and utilize the data and information appropriately for learning.
So the vocabulary, first one, media, like social media, everything what's news or information, like the news media, so like BBC News.
The second is evolution. So evolution means the process of evolving. So evolve is the third word, which is verb. But evolve means to change. And so you start from something small and you become something big. And that whole process is called evolution.
Okay, and then function. Function is what the material does. So the function of the phone is to call, to send messages, to send emails. That's the function. The function of the job is to teach.
So here we have a few pictures along with the timeline. So as you can see, newspapers and books started printing in the 1500s. And then the gramophone recordings started in the 1890s. Then you had cinema in the 1900s. Then the radio was invented, followed by television, internet, and mobile. Okay, so think about this, and this is a practice exercise for you for your phonics and your speaking ability. So how would you explain these media devices to someone who was born before they were invented?
So mobile phone milestone timeline. So you see here one of the first phones and how it looks like now. So you can see a big difference. Would you have a phone like this, or you prefer only screen?
Okay, so as you can see from left to right, we are going from a big phone to a small to a normal sized phone. But if you look at the screen size, the screen keeps getting bigger and bigger. Okay, so this is evolution. Like something changes and something grows bigger, and in this case, it is the screen.
So you see here the games from then, before, the snake game, and now here the graphic change, the screen change, color, and the quality.
So a little bit of humor here. The old Nokia phones used to be very strong, and they had a very long battery life. Like you could charge it after 4 or 5 days and it would still be working. Okay, and they were very, very strong. Compare that to the phones you have today. If you drop it to the floor, you have a cracked screen and you have to go get a new screen. Okay, so the phones have definitely changed quite a bit.
Other timeline like before, date 1983, first mobile phone available, then going from today, only applications, and everything is screen touch.
Okay, and as mobile phones evolved, their use in cinema also evolved. So in 1987, you have the Motorola, the huge phone, and in 1999, we still hadn't reached touchscreens, but the phones became smaller. Okay, and we all know how the iPhone looks like now. So
let's show the video to see how the phone was in a car, so how it was evolving.
Before cell phones, there were car phones.
Good morning, Mr. McCardle. How did the market open?
In fact, the original car phone weighed about 80 pounds. In 1947, an engineer at Bell Labs envisioned a futuristic phone network for their car phones. A call would bounce uninterrupted between cells of coverage. At the time, the technology and the infrastructure for this did not exist, but it soon would. The car phones quickly became popular despite their limitations. Only a limited number of people could use the service at a time, which meant 5 to 10 year waiting lists began to form, and existing customers could sometimes wait up to 30 minutes to place a call. But then, in 1973, Motorola engineer Martin Cooper showed what the future would look like, the Dynatac 8000X. Based on Bell's cell network concept, it was the world's first handheld cell phone. 10 years and a $100 million investment later, Motorola finally released the phone to the public.
I'd like to order a large pizza with mushrooms, anchovies, and the hottest peppers you can find.
The decade-long delay was caused by the need to build the cellular infrastructure the phone required to operate. The phone took 10 hours to charge, lasted 35 minutes, and cost $3,995, which would be about $10,000 today.
Industry watchers say there are only a few thousand cellular phones in use right now, but that number is expected to grow considerably within the next few years during the cellular revolution.
Ahead of its time, the IBM Simon could be considered the world's first smartphone, the world's first touchscreen phone, and the first phone to have software apps. It cost around $1,099 new, which would be around $1,800 today.
Today, Apple is going to reinvent the phone. But what we're going to do is get rid of all these buttons and just make a giant screen. A giant screen.
Just 1 month after one of the most popular BlackBerry devices was released, the original iPhone hit shelves nationwide. It would go on to sell more than 6 million units, with new models introduced every year. The iPhone would forever change mobile phones, the computer industry, and technology forever. Today's cell phones are a far cry from the $10,000 Dynatac phone of 1983. And for many people, the phone feature has become one of the least used features. But in the future, phones could make another drastic change. The World Economic Forum thinks the first implantable phones will become commercially available by 2024.
So here is a work mode. So this is researching. So you have to search for how phones have evolved and changed over the years. So we have already shown you the pictures, but we'd also like you to do some research online and try to make 5 bullet points. And you do this on an A4 size paper, and you can make a video recording of the bullet points that you have made.
Then we go into the diagram, the thinking tool, so evolution of phone technology. So use the internet, draw a picture and write a sentence for each phone. So you can write the date, maybe the person who invited the phone. And then you make the timeline and you draw all the phones, how they looked like and how they look like now. And also try to make the phone from the future. Try to make one from 2030, 15 years, 10 years. And then you try to imagine how will be the evolution of the phone in the future.
So try to also use the bullet points from the previous exercise. Try to use that here. And make sure to write the date. Okay, so the date is very important for the evolution. And this is your thinking tool for this week.
Okay, let's talk about what you learned today. Write everything in your notebook, and then, as usual, write in English and try to find the meaning in Thai on your notebook.
So think about the evolution. You can pause the video, take notes, and finally you have to draw the diagram of the evolution of phone technology. Okay, so think about how the screen sizes have changed. Think about how the batteries have changed. Think about how the strength of the phone has changed, and use that for making a thinking tool. Okay.
Okay, see you for the next lesson. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.